Yes, welcome to Football Heritage TV. Let's look at some scores, shall we? It's the score show. And there's loads of games today. We've got some absolute brilliant games going on across the country today, haven't we? If we have a look, let's have a look at some of the Saturday 3 p.m.s in the Premier League. You've got Villa v Ipswich. You eating that? Yeah, good boy. You've got Villa versus Ipswich. You've got Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. Man City versus Newcastle. Southampton v Bournemouth. West Ham v Brentford. And then this evening, you've got Crystal Palace versus Everton. So loads and loads and loads of good games going on. And then you've got championship games going on. There's about 7 of those going on this afternoon. You've got 10 League One games, I believe. 10 League Two games. There's a couple of games going on in League there's games going on right now in the Bundesliga. Dortmund are playing at the moment. Mönchengladbach, Stuttgart are playing Wolfsburg. And then you've got the big one later, which is Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. We've got games in Italy. It's currently half-time. Atalanta 0, Cagliari 0. Lazio are playing Napoli later. Milan are playing later. And then in La Liga right now, it's Leganes 2, Alaves 3. And then you've got Osasuna versus Real Madrid kicking off in 20 minutes. Then you've got Atletico Madrid are playing. Then Villarreal and Valencia are playing. So there's loads and loads of good games going on today. Let's look, before we do anything, let's have a look at some of the team lineups for today. Let's start with the big one at Man City. So in terms of that game, City have gone with Ederson, Lewis, Kusanov, Stones and Vardial, with Nico and Gundogan, Foden, Marmoush, Savinho and Haaland. Newcastle have gone with Dubravka, Trippier, Shah, Byrne and Hall. Willock, Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes, with Murphy, Isak and Gordon on the left. Then if we go to Aston Villa versus Ipswich, Villa line up with Martinez, Garcia. Disasi makes his debut alongside Kamara and Digne. McGinn and Tielemans in midfield with the same, I would say the same front four that beat us. There is one change. Marlon, Rogers, Ramsey and Watkins, the front four. And then Ipswich are Palmer, a back five of Johnson, Twanzebe, O'Shea, Greaves and Townsend. A midfield four of Enciso, Kajus, Phillips and Hutchinson, with Liam Delap up top. In the Fulham versus Nottingham Forest game, you've got Leno, Castagne, Anderson, Bassi and Robinson as a back four. Lukic and Berg in the midfield, with Traore, Smith-Rowe and Iwobi behind Jimenez up front. And for Forest, looks like they've gone to a back three of Marato, Milenkovic and Murillo. Williams and Aina as wing backs. Anderson, Danilo and Gibbs-White in midfield, with Alanga and Chris Wood up front. There'll be some form of variation there. In the other games, that was Villa, that was Fulham, City. In the Bournemouth game, you have got Southampton. They line up like this. They've gone with Ramsdale, a back three of Bree, Bednarak and Wood. Walker Peters, Smallbone, Aribo and Wellington, with Fernandez in behind Unuachu and Sulemana. And Bournemouth are Kepa, Cook, Zabanye, Houston and Kirkes. Christian Adams with Semenyo, Cliver, Brooks and Ouattara. And on that note, look who's joined us. We've got Barry. How are we doing, Barry?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you? How's your ankle?
Yeah, painkillers.
Painkillers, yeah? Okay, cool.
Wonderful things and loads of crisps, because I'm keeping it healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm a crisp today. Some good games going on this afternoon, Barry. Big up to everyone. Good afternoon, Chloe. How are we doing? Hope you're well. Good afternoon, Phil B. Of that Subdue Light. Arsenal. Yes, you won. Yes, you did. Thoughts on Gvardiol. Top player. Some great games, Nick. Some absolute great games. And you've got to say City Newcastle. That's the big one today, isn't it?
Yeah, look, there's some interesting games. Obviously, West Ham, Brentford, that's a derby. Southampton, Bournemouth, South Coast derby. Man City, Newcastle, that could end That could be 0-0, or I think it's it's Haaland v Isaac, and then even towards the bottom, Nottingham Forest, you've got your Palace, Everton. There's things to be played for, right? And we're getting into the business end of the season. To give them their props, to give them their dues, I thought Arsenal and Ethan Nwaneri earlier were. They got it over the line, but it just goes to show Leicester had chances, they didn't take them. If you don't take your chances, then you get punished, and that's exactly what happened, because they had 2 or 3 chances. I mean, obviously Cordoba Reed looked like he was celebrating before he even got it, and obviously Skelly got there. But look, it's making things interesting, and Liverpool Wolves tomorrow, and obviously Tottenham United, and then Villa Liverpool again in the week. So look, the games are coming thick and fast. We'll have Champions League and Europa League back before we know it, and yeah, it's going to be coming thick and fast. It's all happening. It's happening more than a Spurs YouTube community.
But by the way, Sue, I'm not sure how I meant to look. It was my ankle. It's not. I'm not ill.
It wasn't this, Sue. Yeah, if it wasn't this, you can't tell the difference.
This has not had surgery. Some might say they wish it had, but no, this has not. Big up to you. Thank you, everybody. Big up to El Cockerel. Yeah, man, I love this. This reminds me of old school Saturdays where there's a lot of games on.
Yeah,
I feel like we've kind of got away from Saturdays where there's like 3 Premier League games on at 3 p.m. I think there's some good ones. And if anyone wants to know about the ACCA today, I know that all of you wanted to know with bated breath. I have gone with a Villa to beat Ipswich at home.
Yeah.
Fulham to beat Forest at home, which is a interesting one. I've gone for City to beat Newcastle at home. Bournemouth to beat Southampton away. And West Ham to beat Brentford at West Ham. So I've gone for 5 Premier League teams there. I've got no doubt someone will let me down within the first 15 minutes of games. Mate, it's interesting, isn't it? Spurs don't play. By the time we do play, we could be absolutely miles off it, Barry. We're already 26 points below them lot down the road. And at the moment, this weekend could see Everton and West Ham go above us. We could end the weekend in 16th, and the highest we can end this weekend is in 12th. So this is where we live now, Nick. We live between 12th and 16th. This is us. It's where we are. It's what we've become.
It's who we are, mate. But we got the visionary in charge. I heard you said the visionary. Oh my God.
Look, he's extremely talented, a visionary, an awesome force, an unbelievable coach. What are we doing here? Where's Perchie? What are we doing here? And by the way, yes, people are asking about comments. I've seen this. I've seen this from Jassim bin Tani saying Tottenham, apparently Spurs are the target. I don't know about all of these things. I never believe any of it, really. I don't know about you, Nick.
Yeah, look, obviously it's been flying around the last couple of hours and everything else. It's not the main guy apparently. It's the brother. There's a brother born in 1986, so God knows what that means. So no doubt, who knows? Who knows? But look, I think that after the news of Manchester City and this APT and everything else, we'll see the if this does happen, we'll see the the Qatar Airways Bowl, the Qatar Airways Skywalk, the Qatar Airways everything, and we'll all the things that we said about Chelsea and Man City will suddenly, if something starts to happen, we'll suddenly forget about it and forget about our morals, and we'll go, we're back, and this is what's happening. And this, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's
they only won because they've got, they're owned by a state or blood money or whatever the excuses were.
Yeah.
You watch when it's us. When it's
Yeah,
us,
be
when we
like,
go in.
someone will question it, and someone will go back and go, "Oh, when we were saying about, when we were saying about this and blood money and this and everything else." Everyone will be like, "I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. My morals, I'm fine with my morals now because we're back. We're back. Spurs are back." It'll just be ridiculous, wouldn't it? There'll be this new extension to the training ground. They'll pay 500 billion for it, but actually it's only worth a billion, and then they'll wash some money here and wash some money there. So yeah, I just look, it's interesting, but let's see what happens. But we all know how this. It's just funny how this news. It's like Daniel Levy. As a protest, can we get some news out to take some deflection away of what's going on tomorrow? It's almost like it's almost around the season ticket renewals. Let's start mentioning signing £200 million worth of players just so we get everyone excited to renew their season tickets again, right? So that we've been here before. We'll see what happens. There's news, there's not news, maybe it is news, but look, Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi on board, so Qatar's they want to be out from PSG, the QSI and all of that nonsense. So who knows what will happen. So
well, what we do know today is Matt has told us something. My mate Matt has told us Arsenal scraping past Leicester shows it's not only us that struggle, as Arsenal go 26 points clear of Tottenham and only 4 points off the top of the Premier League table. You are right, Matt. It's exactly the same. Arsenal situation is exactly the same as ours. Mate, they've just beaten Leicester 2-0 away. We lost to them 2-1 at home. I don't know what we're doing here.
and they took their chances. Arsenal took their chances. We arguably should have been 4 or 5-0 up in that first half, but we didn't take our chances. So,
for sure, Scott, for sure. But we love him anyway. He's funny. We love him. By the way, a game has just finished in the Championship. Oxford 0, Portsmouth 2. What a bloody good job Portsmouth have done lately. They've done a really good job. They looked dead and buried at one point, and now they're I think they're something like 7 points clear of the bottom three.
They're 2 points with that. They're 2 points behind Oxford, funny enough. So Oxford obviously sacked their manager, got Gary Rowett in, and they've only lost 2 of the last 8 or 9, I think, Oxford, since Gary Rowett came in, and Portsmouth have gone back to back now. So yeah, they've pulled themselves out of it. But yeah, Luton Town could be back-to-back relegations if they don't turn it around. And then will they find themselves in the like where Sunderland were? They went down to League One and then they struggled and everything else. Reezy, come on.
By the way, Reezy, we've not had 13 players out for 2.5 months either. I love it when I see these fake bits of news. Spurs have got 13 players out. Well, first of all, if we're going to talk about a first 11, how can you have 13 of your first 11 out? Right. Second of all, this is why you have a squad. Look, at the end of the day, I don't care. There's no goals, by the way, anywhere. There's been no goals in the Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two in the first 5 minutes. That must be some sort of record. Not one goal anywhere in 5 minutes. So, look, it is what it is. They do, Chloe. They do. Luton do look damned. They absolutely look damned. And they've literally popped. It is funny, isn't it? Free the right side is right. He is right. Honestly, you say anything about Spurs or Ange, and certain people just pop up. Club close to you has just conceded. The first goal of the 3 o'clocks. Crawley 1, Wickham 0. Will Swan has scored the goal. That's a good name. Mr. and Mrs. Swan called their kid Will. So he's probably William Swan. William Swan.
Sounds like someone that should be in Pirates of the Caribbean. No, what was it? Wasn't that Williams? What was his name from Orlando Bloom's character from Pirates of the Caribbean? That was something Swan, wasn't it?
Pass. By the way, West Ham 0, Brentford 1 after 4 minutes. Kevin Schade And of course, I put West Ham at home to win, didn't I? So
Turner.
of course,
Yeah, of course it has.
I did.
Of course you have, Sav. Of course your Acker's doomed.
Of course, in 4 minutes. The big games: Queens Park 0, Hamilton Academical 1, and Morton 0. The Edrionians 1 at the moment. So at least we've got some goals going in everywhere. Brentford are a funny old side. I just want to see what this has done to Tottenham in terms of Brentford. So Brentford, who are 11th, are now 7 points clear of Tottenham with that goal at the moment. By the way, the gap tonight could be, not for us, the gap from the top 10 to the bottom 10, so i.e. 10th to 11th, could be as much as 8 points tonight, Nick. 8.
Yeah.
8 points. That's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, look, and look, you've seen it. You've seen it at the bottom as well, right? So 17th, 18th, 19th. Well, that's it. Southampton are done. Let's be honest. Southampton look finished. They're 9 points adrift. Leicester, Ipswich, Wolves. I mean, Wolves have got an opportunity here to. I mean, I know they're playing Liverpool, so it's kind of a free hit. But even if they get anything out of that game, they're stretching that. They're stretching it to 3 points, and then you're going to find a tough. I mean, luckily, realistically, unless something happens, the worst we can finish is 16th, right? Because of that gap, right? And I don't realistically see Wolves going on a run that they're what 8 points behind us. So I mean, you never know, right? Well, Everton were before, right? Everton was 9 points behind us, so you never know, right?
But Everton have got their new manager in, and look what a wonderful job Moyes has done. By the way, Walsall 0, Chesterfield 1, Jamie Grimes with a goal, and this is a great name. Rafe Rovers have scored at home to Partick Thistle. Finlay Pollock, that's a great name, Finlay Pollock. I think the Brentford goal did stand. I know it's gone to VAR, but I'm pretty sure it has stood. So West Ham 0, Brentford 1. Listen, Matt, I'm just going to give you a little bit of advice in the chat. Sorry, got something stuck in my throat massively. Mate, the reason why a lot of people think you troll quite a lot is because you're being really silly now. Arsenal have won a game 2-0 to go second in the Premier League table. 4 points, sorry, hang on. If I'm not wrong, 6 points clear of third. 5 points clear of Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, 5 points clear of Forest, yeah.
Right? And 4 points off the top. And then you liken it back to Tottenham. And, see, it's not just us struggling. Arsenal aren't struggling, mate. Arsenal are not struggling. In Arsenal's last 6 games, right, out of 18, Arsenal have taken 14 points. They're not struggling. You've got to stop doing this, Matt, please, because this is where people get really frustrated. I like that you want to just back Spurs through whatever, but the truth, if you don't start saying the truth, people get very, very annoyed because
it's like tomorrow, Savva, right? The rumours are that Dallo is out, which obviously benefits us. Obviously,
and Mainu.
And look, we've got potentially Vicario, Adogi, and who else is supposed to be coming back? Maddison back tomorrow, right? So what will happen is we go realistically with where we are and being at home and those players coming back and the way that Man United have been playing, right? Realistically, we should. I mean, I think I predicted a draw, but I think that's the minimum that we should get out of tomorrow's game, right? But if we go and win tomorrow, it'll be, look, 3 players come back. Wait till the other 3 come back in a couple of weeks. We're going to be cooking. We're going to go on a 10. Nothing is going to suggest apart from, going on a 10-game run. I mean, it's been 18 months since we went on that 10-game run. I don't see it kind of. Mate, I mean, what do you think? Alex asked. Alex THFC 1997 asked, "Do you think 10th is a step too far for us this season?" I mean, we are currently 10 points off 10th. I'll be interested to think what you think, Sav. I know you predicted. What did you?
10 points off 10th.
Yeah.
Wow. If anyone really wants to, if anyone really wants to put into perspective how bad we are, 10 points off 10th. Tomorrow's game, by the way, I expect nothing but 3 points. No excuses, nothing but 3 points. They've got loads of players out. They're a mess. And tomorrow's game, as it stands, Nick, is 13th versus 14th in the table. I mean, what a shit show. But what a shit show.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%.
They didn't, did they? They won 2-0. They got the job done. They didn't concede. They got 2 late goals. I don't know. Yeah, look, this is where we're at. We're being bantered by Palace fans about a race to 10th. Like, look, big up, Chloe. Big up to you. But I love these. We've got a game in hand.
Phil's doing it again. He's doing it again.
Mate, honestly, I've never known anything like Phil. He cracks me up so much. He's been, honestly, all season, everything he said to me, he was wrong about. I love it. I love Phil so much.
Phil, you do realise, Phil, you do realise it's not a game in hand when we're playing it this weekend tomorrow, right? Game in hand is we actually have a game in hand. Just because all the other teams are playing today doesn't. Yes, I get it. We have a game in hand on the teams that are playing today, but not really is it a game in hand. Like Liverpool-Everton, that was the game in hand because it was postponed and was supposed to be played weeks ago. That's realistically what a game in hand is, right? Or are we going to keep going? Or if we play Saturday, then you know the team's playing on a Monday. You know they're going to have a game in hand. Or what? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Oh, mate, I find it really funny. The denial of our fan base. I've always said this is absolutely hilarious at times. And apparently, if you tell the truth and give facts, you're not a real fan. If you just say everything's fine and make things up, it's great. Listen, we should be battering this Man United team at home. You look at the 11 we're going to be able to put out. It's going to be more than good enough to win games. The 11 we've been putting out is more than good enough to beat Ipswich, more than good enough to beat Fulham, more than good enough to beat Wolves and Leicester. There's no excuses for it. There's no excuses.
The team that we put out in that Carabao Cup, let's forget about the Carabao Cup game because that was silly, right? Let's go by the last time we played Man United at home, right? That team that Man United had was far better then than it is now in terms of results, in terms of players, in terms of everything, right? And we won 2-0, I think was the last time we won at home in the Premier League against United, which was ironically the start of the 10-game run 18 months ago, right?
By the way, sorry, there's been a goal in the Premier League. Bournemouth have scored away at Southampton. Bournemouth have scored away at Southampton. I don't know who scored the goal yet, but it is Southampton 0, Bournemouth 1. Now, what that means for the Premier League table right this second, come on, don't do that. What that means for the Premier League table, I'll have to work this out because BBC wouldn't have been that quick. Bournemouth, as it stands, Bournemouth are top 4 after 25 games. As it stands, with that goal, Ouattara with another goal, Bournemouth are top 4 in the Premier League.
Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Bournemouth. Obviously, I know it's not updated yet. 2 points separate the 4 players, and they've all got the same goal difference.
Bang on, Chloe. Yeah, she's a Palace fan. So yeah, they beat United comfortably. By the way,
so Bournemouth in 4th place, 43 points plus 14. Chelsea 43 points plus 13. City 42 points plus 13. Newcastle 42 points plus 13. The interesting fact, what does it do then? Go to goals scored after that, right? So then City have scored the most, 48. Chelsea 47. But look at that defence. Bournemouth, 28 goals they've conceded all season.
By the way, just quickly, Smith Rowe has scored for Fulham at home to Nottingham Forest.
Wow.
Smith Rowe has scored. So Fulham 1, Forest 0. And again, when Fulham are winning, Bournemouth are winning, Brighton winning last night, all these teams are just pulling further and further away from Tottenham. if you look at it. So Bournemouth are fourth. As it stands, Bournemouth are fourth. Now, Man City will go fourth if they could beat Newcastle today, or Newcastle will go fourth if they beat Man City today. But as far as the top 10 is concerned, Spurs are currently 10 points off the top 4 and off of Europe, which is 7th place. Currently, Tottenham are 15 points off of 7th place, which is Newcastle. Emil Smith-Rowe with that goal. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Coventry 1. Ellis Sims with the goal for them. So, look, there's, as I've said, all of these teams, we keep saying, this is why, Nick, when people like Phil in the chat say things like foot 10th, you know, we can make up those wins. These teams are above us because they're better than us, Nick. They're better than us. They're going to pick up points. By the way, Southampton 0, Bournemouth 2. You get the feeling this could be a very, very long day. Southampton 0, Bournemouth 2. What a manager this guy is. They are now fourth in the table with a plus 15 goal difference. Their goal difference is only bettered by Liverpool and Arsenal. So they've got a better goal difference than Newcastle, than City, than Chelsea. And that goal was scored by Ryan Christie. So Ryan Christie with the goal.
The other thing, Savva, as well, like I said, the goals that they've conceded, they're both them and well, Forest obviously conceded a goal now. So they're the third, they've conceded the third least amount of goals, right? And that's mad. Bournemouth. No one is sitting here and saying you're taking Bournemouth's defence over ours. I mean, I would, but
I know, yeah. I know.
But at the start of the season, no one's sitting there saying you're taking Atara, you're taking Cliver, you're taking Christie, you're taking, you know, you're taking Kepa, you're taking, you know.
Is Chris right?
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. This is my point. We've got people going, I think we can still scrape 10th. You know what happened? If we scraped 10th, we'd have people going, well, good end to the season. Like, I'm just disgusted with it. I'm disgusted.
That's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. That's because we'll have one game a week and we'll have nothing to worry about. And then all of a sudden we'll have enough players that we can rotate and we don't need to run them into the ground, and we'll end up picking up some results. Or we'll continue to see what we've seen the past 18 months, and actually we'll end up finishing where we are now.
There's been a goal. Bournemouth being in the top 4 lasted for about 3 minutes. Man City 1, Newcastle United 0. So Man City will leapfrog Bournemouth. How crap is Iriola? They're only 5th. How bad is Iriola? Bournemouth being 5th. The goal scorer, I will let you know ASAP, but there's been goals flying in the Premier League today.
There is. Bradford are down to 10 men after 17 minutes as well. Jack Shepherd. Bradford. Jack Shepherd.
Blackpool 1-0 up, and the goal scorer was Omar Mamouche. I believe that's his first Man City goal. So Man City 1, Newcastle 0. So in Aquawatch, everything's going well apart from West Ham. Bloody West Ham. But yes, so if we look at the Premier League table, I'm not sure if it will have updated that quick. No, it hasn't on BBC. Man City will go on to 44 points. And again, Man City will be 3 points off of Nottingham Forest in third as it stands. You know what's going to happen. You know Man City are going to finish in that top 4. But what that does mean is Newcastle will stay 7th, 3 points above Fulham. But look how tight it is for Europe between Bournemouth, Chelsea, Newcastle, Fulham, Villa and Brighton. They are all separated by 5 points. Crazy times.
Yeah, it is, and we don't know. Obviously, we don't know if with the way that it is at the moment, it does look well. Depends what happens with City, but the way it looks like at the moment, it looks like our coefficient will be enough for 5th place in the Champions League, and God knows what that means for all the other positions, right? Because I haven't got a clue. It could, you know, and you and then you look at the team, like you look at Villa down in 9th and Brighton. Okay, they lost 2 back-to-back before smash. You know, go and smash Chelsea. You know, Chelsea have fallen off a cliff, and it seems to me ever ever since Maresca came out and said we're not in a title race, they're just down tools. I mean, Cole Palmer, I don't know, he's just disappeared. He's just going through the motions.
Isn't it funny though, Nick? Can you imagine? I want to take you back to, let's say, the 1st of August. 1st of August 2024, before the season started. Can you imagine if I did a show, Nick, me and you sat here, imagine we're doing a show, 1st of August going, to be fair, none of our players get in the Bournemouth team for this season. Can you imagine it, right? The abuse would have been just unbelievable. Now, 25 games into the season, it's, but who of our team gets into Bournemouth? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
If I'm honest, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure there is. You know, I'm not even sure there is anyone that gets into Bournemouth's team from our team.
Not in the way that we're set up. No. Not in the way that we're set up. Phil Coyes has said, Savva, cheeky £20 bet. We finished 10th or higher. I'll do a cheeky £20 bet for charity. We could pick a charity and do a cheeky. I'll have that with you all day long. Yeah. I mean, great. Let's do it. I don't think we will. You think we will? I mean, I don't really think it's anything to celebrate either way, is it? I mean, if we manage to finish 10th, yeah. See again. Like, I mean, again, suddenly now we don't rate any of them. I mean, they were third about 8 games ago, and everyone was talking about title races, and now we do change very quickly, don't we, as football fans? Yeah. By the way, Wickham, your boys, Crawley 1, Wickham 1, Daniel Ado with the equaliser. Shrewsbury 1, Bolton 0, Verdane Oliver. That's a great name. Southend 0, Rochdale 1, Devante Rodney. That's a brilliant name. And Queen of the South 0, Arbroath 2. In the Premier League, it's still Man City 1, Newcastle 0, Fulham 1, Forest 0, Villa 0, Ipswich 0, West Ham 0, Brentford 1, and Southampton 0. Bear with me, I've got a goal. Southampton 0, Bournemouth 2. I'm pretty sure Man City have scored. Man City are 2-0 up at home to Newcastle. Man City are 2-0 up. And in a big game at the top of the chat of League One, Birmingham 1, Charlton 0, Jay Stansfield. So Man City 2-0 up. And as it stands, the top 4 is Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, City. Bournemouth are in 5th, which could be enough for a Champions League place. Chelsea in 6th, Newcastle 7th, Fulham 8th, Villa 9th. However, a win for Fulham will put them up to, for Villa will put them up to 8th. Brighton are in 10th. And then you've got the also rans, Brentford, Palace, Man U, Spurs, Everton, West Ham. So all good fun. All good fun.
Yeah, and it's tight. It keeps, it's tight, like you said, League One. So this is where Phil Coyes, this is where a team does have a game in hand, a real game in hand, right? Birmingham have 1 game in hand over Wickham, who they're 9 points ahead of Wickham with a game in hand. And that is a true game in hand, not Birmingham are playing tomorrow and everything else, mate. So, and with that goal,
hang on. I've got a goal for you. Sorry, really quickly. West Ham 0, Brentford 2. West Ham 0, Brentford 2. So Brentford, I keep hearing, by the way, Nick, I wouldn't want Frank. Frank's crap. Brentford 2-0 up away at West Ham and are 7 points clear of Tottenham Hotspur. How funny are we?
It's crazy. But look, Leyton Orient with that.
It's been disallowed. Sorry.
Oh, so fake news, yeah? Well done. Thanks.
Sorry.
Leyton Orient now up to 5th in League One. Charlton are 6th. So your local team in the playoffs.
My daughter game.
And Wickham in 2nd place, only 2 points ahead of Ryan Reynolds and Rob, Wrexham. Yeah, Chloe, Wickham are, considering they've, in terms of that, but they've got some investors from Moldova and pipped some. They're all very data driven. The managers came from Sunderland, I believe, and yeah, it's all very, very data driven. So I don't really know what's going on there. But look, Savva's got the door. There's nothing really happening. Reading have taken the lead at home to Rotherham. Celtic are 1-0 up at against Dundee. And Morton have equalised against Airdrie. It's 1-1. Nothing to... I don't know who scored for Leyton Orient. Let's have a look. Perkins, yes. It wasn't Jamie Donnelly. So, look, it's rather interesting, chaps and ladies and gentlemen even. At the moment, as it currently stands, Spurs... Palace, Palace play later. Like we said, Spurs are 10 points off 10th place and 10 points off 18th place. Marmoush, who had a bit of an interesting introduction, let's just say, to Premier League life, is now bagged that double. So if anyone's taken a punt on him and stuck him in your FPL team, top of the Championship, Leeds United are 1 point clear, but they have a game in hand. And Coventry City knocking on the door again. I think they've scored, Sav. Have they not? Coventry. They've moved up to they've moved up to 7th in the Championship.
Yes, David, you're 100% right. I got absolutely slated for predicting 7th. 7th, and now we've got so. The person here that got slated for finishing 7th is now being told none of our players get in at Bournemouth. Like you can't ride it. Marmoush, by the way, he's a top player. If anyone hasn't seen him, he's a top footballer. That Brentford goal was disallowed. Apologies, that Brentford goal was disallowed. Leyton Orient are 2-0 up against Lincoln. Sonny Perkins has got the goal. Villa are still 0-0 at home to Ipswich. So that's one to watch out for. Forest are still losing 1-0 away at Fulham. And I think we can safely say, Nick, if this stays as it is, this whole pipe dream of Nottingham Forest possibly winning a title is gone, isn't it, if they lose that today?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see what Wolfie said. He's been coming with a lot of chest. He's been coming with a lot of chest. Gosh. And I think Wolfie will sit there and say, well, it's only 10 points. It's only 10 points. But look, you never know, right? This is what I mean. You don't know what Fulham are going to turn up, and you don't know what Forest are going to turn up. 1 minute they're getting battered, and then they just go and do what they did the other week, right? And just annihilate Brighton. So it's.
I find it interesting. I find it interesting, right? Because football can change very quickly. Football can change over 3 games. You get yourself 9 points. It can change very quickly. I just don't think that we're capable of doing that. I don't think we're capable of going bang, 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 3-4 wins on the bounce. I just don't see it. I really don't. Big up to Matthew. Different Matthew, who's become a YouTube member. Big up to you, Matthew. Thank you very much for that. A lovely picture you've got going on there. And Matthew, if that wasn't enough, has come in and said, according to Ange, Glazers... to Ange Glazer. To the Ange Glazers, we will win the Europa League. Are these guys serious at this point? Yeah, listen, the reason why I stopped listening to them is these are the same people like Matt and Reezy who were in my chat for months saying, you're going to look stupid, Savva, when we win the League Cup. Okay. You're going to look stupid, Savva, when we win the FA Cup. Okay. Now they're saying you're going to look stupid, Savva, when we win the Europa League. When we don't win that, I'm sure I'll look stupid for something else. So it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure mathematically we can still win the Premier League, right? I don't know how, but
let's have a look. We are currently 30 points off the top. 30 points off the top. We got 14 games left. What's that? 14, 28, 30. We can get 42 more points. So yes, we can win the Premier League. Yes. Clip
as long as everyone else loses every other game.
The Premier League.
And then what are we saying? By the end of Feb, that won't be possible. So then we've just got Europa left, yeah?
Yeah. Listen, I'll say this. Thank you, Matthew. I really appreciate that. Look, I'm all for it. I'm not telling anybody who likes the manager or whatever to not. You do you. I just don't like the way they tell me I'm not a real fan because I'm talking truths. Look, you know, there's a lot of people that predicted Spurs to win the League Cup or the FA Cup. I never said they would because Villa away, we're not winning that game. You know, it's a big game. We're not going to win that. You know, Liverpool away, we're not getting anything at Anfield. It's just the way it is. It's the way it is. I love it. To be honest, you guys do have a chance at Europe. There's not many good teams in it. I think there's lots of good teams in it. Like this notion that there's no good teams in the Europa League is somewhat baffling to me, if I'm honest. It's somewhat
baffling. I mean, let's look, shall we? Ajax, Galatasaray are still there. I mean, they've got a lot to do. Alkmaar, Troy Parrott, bloody masterclass came out the other day. Roma, 20, Real Sociedad. You know, well, they're the ones that are just they're the ones that are just in the playoffs, right? Then when you get to it, you've got where are we? Then you got Lazio. What are we doing here? Athletic Bilbao.
Athletic Bilbao. Man
Leon,
United,
Olympiacos, Man United. I mean, look, they're all teams that can turn up. I mean, we saw how difficult it was when we played, Hoffenheim. Let's just say, and what are we going to do? We're going to sit there and say, "Oh well, we had injuries." It doesn't matter. These teams, Yes, Ben, we have it. You guys have a better. Go on.
Just quickly, Manchester City are rolling back the years. Manchester City 3, wow. Newcastle 0. I mean, I don't know who's got the goal yet, but hey, when they're like this, they're irresistible, aren't they? I mean, they're battering Newcastle United right now. 3-0 in 32 minutes. The goal scorer was, I will tell you in 2 seconds, come on, was Omar Mamouche. With a 32-minute hat trick. Mamouche with a 32-minute hat trick. Man City being out the Champions League might not be the worst thing for them.
No.
It might be a bad thing for the rest of the league. If we're brutally honest, it might be a very bad thing. So be careful what people wish for.
Barnet have taken the lead, top of Vanarama National League. They're hunting down Spurs. They have taken the lead at home. To who are they playing today? They're playing Solihull Moors, who are 10th in the National League. And Kylian Mbappe has given Real Madrid the lead against Osasuna.
Just quickly, Phil, based on what? When you're saying on our day, based on what? Like, these are all teams we'd have to beat over 2 legs. So based on what? What I've seen of us in Europe, we look dreadful. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Millwall are 1-0 up. Millwall 1-0 up against West Brom. Jake Cooper with the goal. Hang on. Aston Villa v Ipswich. Is anything happening? I don't know. He's losing. Whoever that Chris Boyd's losing his mind in the studio, so I don't know. No, but Phil, like, I don't know based off what. I think we might beat one of them on a first leg, but I want to see can Ange's style of football work over 2 legs? I think we I think we've seen that we can't. Look what he did at Liverpool. Ben Villa says, Savva, I'm a big fan, but you shouldn't be associating with Lee Gunner. He's a complete wrong. Let me say, when you say I shouldn't start associating with Lee Gunner, I've been working with Lee Gunner for years. I haven't started associating with him. Lee Gunner is a friend of mine. And when you're saying he's a complete wrong-un, I don't really want that sort of talk on my channel. So please, can you refrain from that? He's not a complete wrong-un at all. He's got a very successful channel. Some people love him. Some people don't. Just leave it there.
Marmite, I think you could describe a lot of people. Marmite. You either love them or you hate them. So there you go.
No, I completely agree. All of these.
If you don't like them, you don't need to say anything bad about them. You just don't watch. You know.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, games at the moment in the Premier League. It is Southampton 0, Bournemouth 2, Man City 3, Newcastle 0, Fulham 1, Forest 0, Villa 0, Ipswich 0. Ipswich doing a better job than we did there during the week, and West Ham 0, Brentford 1. Birmingham 1-0 up. Birmingham are flying at the top of the League One at the moment. I fully expect them to go up. And then I fully expect them to maybe go up again. They've got some good backing there. They've got some good players. They've got goal scorers. I think they're going to be a problem next year. And Braintree 2, Forest Green 0. Tom Blackwell, everybody's favourite Braintree player, Tom Blackwell, has scored.
Yeah, and that's interesting because Braintree is currently sat 3 points above the relegation zone in the National League. Forest Green currently in second, but 2 points behind Barnet.
Goal in the Premier League. It is Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 1. I'll let you know the goal scorer in a minute. In Scotland, Celtic 2, Dundee United 0. Jota with a goal. I think that might be his first goal since returning. Back. Big up. Did I see Bobby K in the chat? Did I see Bobby K?
Yeah. You saw little Bobby K.
Hey, Bobby K. He tells me off if I don't read out his comments. He messages me calling me racist. Big up, Bobby. Chris Wood with the Nottingham Forest goal. Chris Wood, if he could, and he did.
Who else?
Listen, we're not the sexy ones, Bobby. You're the sexy one.
Yeah, you are.
You're the sexy one. It's just a shame I'm racist, Bobby. Other than that, love you. Where are we? Yeah, so Chris Wood, I make that, what's that? His 18th, maybe? His 18th goal of the season? Something like that?
Yeah.
Wow, he's having a great season. Isn't Chris Wood like 32 or 33? Huh.
Let's have a look.
He's not young, is he, by any stretch?
He's not. Yeah, he's 33 years old.
Wow. And he's waited till now to have his, I'm guessing off the top of my head, that this is his best ever season.
More than likely, which means Spurs will probably sign him like they do with Solanke.
Don't. It's about right.
Let's have a look. Player profile, Chris Wood. Let's have a look.
So never have I wanted West Ham to score a goal more. My Acca's looking really good apart from West Ham. I thought Brentford are not very good away, and apparently they've been all over West Ham. So, Jamie, score prediction. I think this should be a win. There's no excuse for me. This should be a 3-1 win. There's no excuse. This is we haven't won a home game for 3 months. We've got to at some point. We've got to. So nothing but a win for me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right, Chloe. Isn't he always in and around the sort of 11, 12 goal mark, Chris Wood?
Chris Wood scored last year. He scored. So this year he scored 17 plus today 18. Wow. Last year in the Premier League 14. The year before 3. Sorry, the year before. The year before that 2. The year before that in the Premier League 3. 2021 12. 19-20 for Burnley, 14, 10, 10. Yeah, and then 27 in the Championship for Leeds. But yeah, wow. Crazy. This is by far his best season for a number of years.
How many behind Haaland is he? I'm being asked by Angus. Do we know how many Premier League goals Haaland's got this year?
League
19.
Golden Boot. Let's have a look. Premier League top scorers. Salah on 22, Haaland on 19, Chris Wood now on 18, followed by Isaac on 17.
I've got a Premier League goal for you if you would like to hear it.
I would like to hear it. I'm sure everyone would like to hear it.
Excellent. I might have lied.
Again. Oh, it's been disallowed.
Yeah,
again.
I feel like I'm giving a lot of false information. Hang on. It's saying it's all gone dark on the Aston Villa Ipswich game, and it's saying Villa attack. Normally that means Ipswich, I think of, there hasn't been a goal. Sorry, Twanzebe of Ipswich has been sent off. So Ipswich are going to have to play for the last 50 minutes of this game with 10 men at Villa Park. You would probably think that's, I mean, Villa have got to win that now, haven't they?
Yeah, 100%.
And an ex-Tottenham midfielder has just scored a goal. An ex-Tottenham midfielder has just scored a goal in the Championship. Who is it?
Oh, what, we're doing this again. Who is it? Jermaine Defoe.
It's not Jermaine Defoe.
Josh Onuma.
It is the wonder that is. Oh, Musa Sissoko. Sissoko's been scored. Middlesbrough 0, Watford 1. So
is he still playing? Is he genuinely still playing for Watford?
He's just scored.
Oh my
He's just
God.
scored, yeah. Yeah. So Swansea sent off for Ipswich. They're down to 10 men away at Villa. And all these people who say, oh, Spurs could still get relegated. These are the teams we're above, right? Leicester and Ipswich. It's never going to happen. However, we go to Ipswich in a couple of weeks, don't we? Or next week. So
we go, next week, the weekend after, we go to Ipswich.
Got another Premier League goal. I'm not lying this time.
Sure.
It is West Ham 0, Brentford 2 this time, and unless VAR get rid of it, it is West Ham 0, Brentford 2. The West Ham fans are going to be really, really, really frustrated. Musa says goat so. That is not easy to say. Yeah, goals everywhere. Millwall 1, West Brom 1, a Joe Bryan own goal, and Cammy Smith. Anyone tell me who Cammy Smith has scored a goal for?
No.
That's right. Peterhead. That's right. Good guess. It was Peterhead. So yeah, West Ham 0, Brentford 2, Johan Visser. So another one who's having a good season. That should be his 13th, maybe 13th, 14th Premier League goal this year. I might be making that up.
That's his 12th goal.
12. And how many's Mbeumo got?
14.
So their strike partnership between them are on 26 at the moment.
Yeah.
Got it. What's our strike partnership on?
Well, we've got no. Well, it depends what you're classing as a striker. Dominic Solanke, yeah, 7 goals.
No, I know it's different. I mean, you got Solanke,
Madison 8 goals, Solanke and Johnson on 7. So 3 players. So sorry. I mean, I can't see our captain there, if I'm honest. The one that everyone keeps telling me he's not finished. But surely he should be in that list if he's not finished, in my opinion. But not in the top 20. Not in the top 20 this year. So
the Brentford goal, I think, has been disallowed again. They've got Mike Dean doing VAR in the studio. Bet365 have cancelled it out and said it's offside. And now Sky Sports score correction. So West Ham are living to fight. They've had 2 goals disallowed. 2 goals disallowed. Jack Harkness has scored for Sterling Albion. So for anyone who likes the Scottish League 2, Sterling Albion 1, Forfar 1. Abby Summers saying give Ange another season. Sure, she can say what she likes. Spurs are crap, so she's wrong. I like Abby. I think she's really good at what she does, but I disagree. I don't want this manager here for another season. I don't know how bad it has to get before we can just turn around.
Can you imagine Spurs get to the final of the Europa League and we're wanting them not to win because we know that Ange will then be here for another season?
I don't think we're going to get that far. If we get that far, I want them to win it. But I don't think this guy is capable of managing. Listen, he's going to have to manage back-to-back 2 legs in Europe. How many? He's going to have to do 2 legs. I can't see it. He's not got it in him. He's not got it in him. Sterling Albion 1, Forfar 1, as we know. So yeah, Brentford 2 disallowed goals. 2 disallowed goals. I'd love to go on that show with Abby, her new show. I will say it as it is. I will be on there saying it as it is. Peterhead 1, Clyde 1 is a half-time score. We're getting some half-times coming in now, but all the Premier League games are still going. Man City are still 3-0 up. And Aston Villa are still 0-0 with Ipswich, by the way, even though Ipswich are down to 10 men. And West Ham living to fight another day after 2. When you're saying no, Savva, you bring down the tone. What you mean is I tell the truth about your hero. That's what you don't like, Reezy. I tell the truth about your hero. Mate, just so you know, they don't have people like me on these shows. I hear a lot. People like me only have my opinion so that I can get onto TalkSport or Sky. People with my opinion don't get asked onto those shows. Let's be brutally honest. Like I saw someone the other day. I was seeing videos about it going, oh, Savva only says what he says because he wants to be on TV. I'm like, what? Surely if I wanted to get on TV and talk sport that bad, wouldn't I do what everyone else does and blow smoke up this manager's ass? Like, wouldn't like, you don't get on for being honest.
I would. Do you know what I would like to see, Savva? I would like to see you and expressions, mate. That's what I would want to see. Let's give the people what they want. Then way there.
I don't know how to get in contact with him. I don't know him. Yeah.
So wow. Savva, he'll just be talking, and you'll be like, mate, I don't understand what you just said.
I saw him the other night. I thought it was really good the other night on the Big Six, and he was very honest about the club. And you know, I think when he drops all the fun and games, he talks very well about Spurs. I feel you, Savva, getting so annoyed by this Carling guy, especially when they're always badging me to come on the show. Yeah. Yeah, listen, listen. I hear this all the time. Like people always say, like, I'm not one of these people who gets the invite. The same people get the invites. And look, just because you get an invite onto one of those shows as well, it doesn't mean you're going to make loads of money. This morning, Nick, I got a message. It was funny. This morning, the message on my YouTube said, hang on, let me make sure I get this right.
Was it Dermot and Allison from this morning? Is that what you're saying? That ITV have got in contact. They want you to come on and do a segment.
Yes.
They've had enough of Sam Thompson or whoever does things in the morning. They want Savva.
I don't know if you can read that. It might be a bit small.
No.
But this guy, Paul Napper, said...
Oh, was that the one about earning 10K a month?
Yeah. You YouTubers love to stir it up. You probably earn 10K plus a month. So you know it works to post hate on the club and managers. It's all for money. Money, 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 and you know it. I'll tell you what. If I earn 10K a month on this, Nick, 10K a month? Sorry, does this guy know how much 10K a month is in yearly salary? 10K a month? Jesus Christ. I mean, Bobby, we were backstage the other week and you were seeing how much people earn. I'm not one of the ones earning 10K a month. I'll tell you that. Oh, my gosh. When people say things like that, Nick, what makes me laugh is they say it with having zero understanding of how this world of YouTube works. I don't think they understand.
They just think that every stream and every video is like 3K or whatever, you know, 3K just on one stream. I mean, I don't really understand. They don't, yeah.
This is the same person, by the way, that said, why is everyone so sad about a dog? For fuck's sake, it's a dog. I mean, this is the level of brain power we are using. This same guy said this to me, which I thought was quite funny. He said, you wanted to be in charge of the protests. Someone beat you to it. I don't think you've ever heard me say I want to be in charge of any protests. I think what you've heard me say down the years is, these protests won't work. I think that's what you've heard me saying.
No, but the reason why, Savva, you said that is because you wanted to be in charge of the protest, and because you weren't in charge of the protest, that's why you're saying it doesn't work, and that's what we come round to. Yeah, that's what I think he's trying to say. Yeah, because you say that you don't think it works means that you weren't given the opportunity all these years ago, and every time it keeps happening, you keep saying no because oh my God, this is crazy. This is crazy.
It's madness.
On that note, I'm going to go and get a drink to wet my whistle.
You do that. Somebody just messaged me saying, I love you, Savva, but saying Kinski is terrible with his feet is the maddest thing you've ever said. Sorry, am I watching the same Kinski that keeps passing the ball out to the opposition when he gets it? I genuinely don't know what people watch that I'm not. I genuinely don't get it at all. God, yeah, 10K a month. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? 10K a month. How much would you? I'll tell you what, let's have a look. Hang on. Monthly salary calculator. Right, let's see. For me to earn 10K a month, right, from YouTube, let's see how much I'd have to take before tax. Right. I want to see the breakdown of a salary. Let's try 200,000. If you earn £200,000 a year, £200,000 a year is 9.8K a month is what you would take home. So somebody reckons, that guy reckoned I'm making £200,000 a year on YouTube. £200,000 a year. I don't know. I genuinely think these people are mad. I think everyone knows I can't. I've just had ankle surgery. I've just had ankle surgery. So no. Yeah, it's 200K. Yeah. I thought it was roughly. It's the first number I put in. 9.8K a month that would give you. Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? If you do earn that, could you send us some of it my way, please, Coey? These people are hilarious. Phil, of course they don't. Of course they don't. Yeah, exactly. I make £100 a month from YouTube. There you go. That'll do. I make £100 a month from YouTube. Spurs, I think we should win the game. They've got problems. We should be winning that game. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We should be winning that. Yeah, man, listen, it was just ankle. It only took 23 minutes in the end. It took 23 minutes, but it's very, very sore. It's very, very sore. And at the moment, just painkillers, just very, very sore. So people saying, I look all right for someone who's had it. I mean, it's not here. It's not there. It's just my ankle. Yeah, so scores at half time in the Premier League. Let's go through those. Aston Villa 0, Ipswich 0. But Ipswich are down to 10 men. Axel Tuanzebe. Fulham 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Smith Rowe gave Fulham the lead. Chris Wood equalised just before half time. Man City 3, Newcastle 0. Marmoush, Omar Marmoush with his first 3 games, his first 3 goals for Man City in. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Marmoush with his first goals for Man City. Man City 3, Newcastle 0. A Marmoush hat-trick. Southampton 0, Bournemouth 2. Goals from Ouattara and Christie have given Bournemouth a 2-0 lead and currently have Bournemouth sitting 5th in the table, 1 point off the top 4. Currently, depending on UEFA coefficient points, Bournemouth could be in the Champions League next season. And West Ham 0, Brentford 1, but Brentford have had 2 goals disallowed in that game, and they've had 11 shots to West Ham's 3. So a lot of work for West Ham to do there. In the Championship, it's Blackburn 0, Plymouth 0, Hull 1, Norwich 0, Luton 0, Sheffield United 0, Middlesbrough 1, Middlesbrough 0, Watford 1, Sissoko with that goal, Millwall 1, West Brom 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Coventry 1. And by the way, I'm just going to give him a little bit of props. What a good job Frank Lampard has done. What a bloody good job Frank Lampard has done at Coventry. He's currently got them 1 point out the playoffs. And then Stoke 0, Swansea 0. In League One, Barnsley 1-0 up against Huddersfield. Birmingham 1, Charlton 0. Blackburn 1, Mansfield 2. Bristol Rovers 1, Burton 0. Crawley 1, Wickham 1. Orient 2, Lincoln 1. Reading 1, Rotherham 0. Shrewsbury 1, Bolton 0. Stevenage 0, Peterborough 0. And Wigan 0, Stockport 0. In Germany, it is Bochum 2, Dortmund 0. So Dortmund going not in good form at all, are they? St. Pauli 0, Freiburg 0. Stuttgart 0-0 with Wolfsburg. Union Berlin 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 2. Celtic are 2-0 up against Dundee. Dundee FC are losing 1-0 at home to Aberdeen. Kilmarnock 1, St Johnstone 0. Motherwell 0, Ross County 1. and it's Osasuna 0, Real Madrid 1, Kylian Mbappe with a goal. And that should bring you up to date with all of the major leagues across Europe right now. So that's a comprehensive view of everything that's going on. Let's have a look. What have I missed out on in the chat? Richard Hollis said 200k a year. I'm a decorator and I have to work 6 months to get that. Good luck to you. So you earn 400k a year. You're in the right job then, aren't you? Well done, you. Well done, you. Did I see my mate Matt has said, can you acknowledge it'll be a very tough game between two teams that are struggling? Matt, every week you tell me Ange is brilliant. Every week you tell me to acknowledge a game will be tough. Are there any games that won't be tough in your mind? Are there any games we should be winning in your mind? Someone's messaged me. No, I don't care about all that. Big up. Welcome back to Barry. Welcome back to Barry. Where are we? Phil Coy. So where's this narrative from that I love Ange? I have my reservations about Ange, but I think he should see the season out. Pochettino, etc., should be available at the end of the season. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, mate. Jess Wright said, we are rubbish, Savva, but hopefully Ipshit get relegated. Okay, fair enough, Jesse. Fair enough. Yeah, Dortmund are having a terrible time of things as well. And are we up to date? Yeah, I'd take Terzic. I think they were very good with him. Not so much now. Kudos has said decorators do not earn 400k a year. Have a day off. There's no way.
As it currently stands, right? As it currently stands, before Leverkusen and Bayern Munich play today, Bayern Munich are 8 points clear. They could go 11 points clear if they win tonight. And that would be, you'd have to say, the league done, surely, for not only Harry Kane, but for Eric Dyer.
Yeah, listen, I love Eric Dyer and Eric Dyer loves me. Bellingham has been sent off apparently for Real Madrid. So looking at half time, this is where we're at the moment in the Premier League table. So you can see Liverpool 4 points clear. They play tomorrow at home to Wolves, which you would think they would win that game. You know, stranger things have happened. Arsenal closed the gap to 4 points. Nottingham Forest, hang on, let me just double check. Have I refreshed that? I don't think I have.
Scott, no games in hand. No games in hand for Munich or Leverkusen.
So Nottingham Forest, 5 points at the moment behind Arsenal in third. Man City have moved up into fourth. And they are on 44 points, winning 3-0 today and doing their goal difference a world of good. Bournemouth flying at the moment. Bournemouth are 43 points in fifth. Chelsea, 43 points in sixth. Newcastle, 41 points in seventh. Villa are on 38 points. Crazy thing is, if Villa get a goal, they go on to 40 points and they're only 3 points off Champions League. That's how tight it is up there. Then Fulham, 37 points. Brighton, 37 points. Brentford, 34. Sorry for all our Spurs fans. Let me see if I can get that in. Brentford, 34 points. Palace are on 30. Manchester United and Palace play Everton later today, don't they, at Everton? Am I making that up? I might be making that up.
Who? What are you making up? Palace play Everton
Palace
later.
playing Everton, aren't they?
Yeah, you're not making that up.
Yeah.
You make up goals going in, but yeah, you're not making up fixtures.
Making up goals going in, yeah. So Palace with a chance to go on to 33 points later. Man United versus Tottenham is 13th, 14th tomorrow. If Man United win, they go 5 points clear of Spurs, and Spurs will be firmly rooted in the bottom half. A win could see us go 12th, depending on results for both West Ham and Crystal Palace over the next few hours. Wolves are on 19 points. They go to Anfield tomorrow. And then Ipswich, 17 points. Leicester, 17 points. Southampton are relegated surely on 9 points. The table doesn't make for good reading if you're a Tottenham fan, but that brings everybody completely up to date. My mother-in-law's here. Let me go and say hello. I'll be back in a minute, and you can entertain.
So, yes, talking of La Liga, so Real Madrid are 4 points clear. Atletico Madrid and Barcelona, 5 points from them, who do actually have a game in hand. So Phil Coys, they have got a game in hand. So it's all very tight at the top of La Liga. If we look at, let's go and look at Ligue 1 and see what's going on there. PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, are 9 points clear with a game in hand. So that is when they've got a game in hand. I'm not sure if that game in hand... Oh, it's tonight. So it's not really a game in hand. They are playing tonight away at Toulouse, who are 10th. So they should go 12 points clear tonight. In Scotland, let's go and look at the Scottish Premier League. Celtic are miles ahead of Rangers, 16 points clear, and Rangers do have a game in hand, but they probably play again later or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. And let's have a look at which league should we look at? Which league? Anyone want to know anything? We've done Spain. We've done. Oh, I know. Let's look at Serie A. Milan faltering with Emerson Royale injured. They have a game in hand, and they play at 7:45 this evening against Hellas Veronas, who are 15th, and AC Milan could jump above Bologna in 7th place. Phil Coys has understood the game in hand point now. Well, now that we've actually explained the true game in hands, so he's got the point.
When you play the same weekend, it's not called a game in hand. When you are officially owed a game, the way Liverpool played their game in hand against Everton midweek, that was their game in hand. I love this. This guy has got to be one of my favorite people. It's huge. It would send a message that we're fighting. Where's that fight been for 24 games of the season, Matt?
Because of the injuries, Savva, because of the injuries.
Oh, we've got injuries. Yeah, says Bournemouth. Bournemouth say, hold my beer. What are we doing here? Yes, they are. They statistically and factually are the worst ever Premier League team. Yes, indeed. Bromley, my local boys, Bromley have just scored in the 46th minute, and it is the top goal scorer, Michael Cheek. And I'll be honest, when I went to see them play, he was absolutely dreadful. Hang on, who's posting me this? Christian Romero is currently in the same lounge in Qatar as influencer Angry Ginge. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Yes, you're right. What you've just sent me.
Yeah.
What you've just sent me, I understood 100%. Yes.
I've just seen 3 or 4 of them, and I'm like, this is too much of a coincidence.
Yes.
Anyway.
It's mad the number of people that actually talk like that. But yes, we'll keep that between us. Hull 1, Norwich 1. Josh Sargent has scored. So a couple of goals going in early. Cheltenham 0, Barrow 2. Ben Whitfield has scored. So a couple of away goals going in there. Man City are underway. Fulham are underway. Still half time at West Ham. Still half time at Villa Park. And the Bournemouth-Southampton game. Southampton-Bournemouth game is underway. But again, Bournemouth keep winning, don't they? They keep winning games of football.
They do. And Phil, please. Yes, Brighton have played 25 because they played last night. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, Phil? Next week, we play ball, or the week after in March, we play the first weekend of March, we play on the Sunday against Bournemouth. But that doesn't mean that West Ham and Newcastle, who play on the Monday, have got a game in hand on us. It's this. What are you doing here, Phil? I swear, sometimes you're just doing this to just make.
He does it on purpose.
Do it on purpose. You are a troll, Phil. I seriously think you're a troll, mate, because you're doing it just on purpose. What happens?
Rich. God.
No. I just said, does that mean that Palace and Everton have a game in hand because they don't kick off for an hour and 25 minutes? Is that what we're doing, Phil? Is that your logic, mate? Because if that's your logic,
if Palace got a game in hand, You kick off in an hour and a half, and you got a game in hand. Solihull Moors have equalised at Barnet. Fletcher Holman has scored in that game.
Wow.
Sorry. So Richard said, Savva, realistic, where do you think we'll finish if Ange sees out the season? I think whoever sees out the season now, I think we're going to finish between 11th and 14th. That's where I think we will finish. I think that it's a massive ask to finish in the top 10. We're, as Nick said, we're currently 10 points off the top half of the table. And the games are ticking down. The games are, everyone keeps saying, we could go on a run. But these teams above us are winning games. So whatever run we go on, they've got to do 3 less than we do or 4 less than what we do. It's mad. So in the Premier League at the moment, no goals in the second half in any of the games. But Man City are on the attack. No. Savino. See, they've got some, he'll get it right. This season, call it what you want, transition. But he'll get it right. They've got too many good players coming to the football club. Miss Bunny, we won't win another game this season. I'm sure we will. Don't worry about that. Sure, we will win more games.
Well, Arsenal won't win another game this season. Strange, isn't it?
Oh, Arsenal. I look at them chucking on a central midfielder, not even an attacking one. Just grabs a brace. When was the last time one of our centre mids ever did that? And when was the last time one of our centre mids scored a brace in the last 10 minutes of a game?
I don't think. What was it? Maddison scoring a brace at Man City? Was that the last time a midfielder scored a brace? But not in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. And he's a playmaker. I'm talking about more of a centre mid. Like, when was the last time Bentancur, Saab, Basuma, Skip, like something like, so when we don't do it, do we?
Never. I don't remember that ever happening. 1 goal, yeah, the odd goal here, but never 2 goals to do it.
Yeah. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do. We are clicking down towards 17k. We've got about 400 to go until we get to 17k. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. I would say subscribe to Barry, but he chucked all this in, sensible Barry, a while back, chucked all this in and lives a much happier life.
You can flirt wherever you want to flirt with, whoever you want to flirt with.
Mate, I'll tell you what, Reezy, I fully expect when all the Spurs players are back, I expect now that we're going to have Maddison back and Udogie back, those scores better change. I expect 3, 4, 5 wins in a row because you've been using this excuse all season. You were using this excuse when those players weren't even injured, mate. When those players weren't injured and we were losing games, I don't even know what your excuse was then. No goals in the Premier League.
You know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen tomorrow, don't you? Udogie comes back. Spence dropped to the bench.
Oh, you know he'll do something stupid like that. It's what he does. And Timo's coming back. Sterling. There's not many goals in this second half at the moment anywhere. In the first 10 minutes of the second half, there's not many goals across the whole of English and Scottish football. Sterling Albion 2, 4-4-1. Robbie McNabb. That's a great name. Robbie McNabb with the goal. Great goal that was.
I love that.
I love this. Look at this. I love this guy. I love it. Oh, look at implementing his game plan. He hasn't got a game plan, Matt. Wake up. You're a troll at this point. You're trolling.
And this Christian Romero is currently in the same lounge as influencer Angry Gins, right? I've just seen the video. It doesn't actually show him in the same lounge, right? I mean, let's do this. My mum was in the same airport as Christian Romero within the last 24 hours. So what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here?
Oh, how we laugh. It's so silly, isn't it? Everyone's an ITK. Absolutely, Jay Spur. We didn't play in Europe in his first season, and he absolutely collapsed in that one as well. It Implementing his game plan is the problem. We finished 5th last season. I love this Matt guy. He is funny. I'll give him that. So still Villa 0-0. West Ham are losing 1-0 at home to Brentford. Fulham are 1-0 with Notts Forest. City are 3-0 up against Newcastle. And Bournemouth are winning 2-0 away at Southampton. We've got Everton Palace later on. 5th, is that an achievement? Yeah, I like it. I know, 5th. Everyone going on like we've never finished 5th before. 5th was amazing when we first started doing it with Martin Yole, kind of back in the day. We're now like 20 odd years down the line. 5th really doesn't do anything for me. 5th's an achievement. Like Bournemouth are sitting 5th right now. 5th is a wonderful achievement for a club like Bournemouth of their size. Rob, for sure. Listen, the goalposts move. People who make excuses are good at making excuses. Phil, I've tried to get him on the show. I've tried to get you on the show. All you people that waffle never come on. You, Reezy, Matt, you wafflers never come on the show because you know you waffle. And I got Matt, come on the show. Come on the show.
Matt. Come on, Matt.
I like this. The amount of games doesn't help how he plays. then don't get into Europe. Like, I don't know. Like, what are we doing?
Positives. Do you know what my positive is? The positive that I've got tomorrow is I'm not going to the game. That is my positive for tomorrow.
I think you're going to win there later. I think it's at Everton, right, Chloe? Is it at Everton?
No, it's at Palace.
Oh, it's at Palace. Definitely?
Yep, definitely, yeah.
Okay, I think Palace will win that. I think Palace will win that. Listen, they're a tough team to break down, but I think Palace are in good form. I think you're gonna win that, and that will put Crystal Palace on to 33 points. So if you win tonight, you'll be 6 points clear of Spurs before we kick off tomorrow.
But Spurs have a game in hand. Remember, Savva?
Well, we got a game in hand. We've got the game in hand.
6 points clear with a game in hand.
Blackburn 1, Plymouth 0, Forshaw. By the way, I know this isn't Premier League, but what a strange decision for me for John Eustace to leave Blackburn, who were 5th. Done a brilliant job there, got them 5th, and then leaving to go to Derby, who were in a relegation battle. I know he used to play for Derby, but this just seems like such a weird managerial decision. Wouldn't you see the season out at Blackburn?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's tight up there because there's what between Watford, who are in 10th, and Blackburn in 5th. There's 4 points difference. You know, you can even go all the way down to 13th, 5 points difference to Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah.
Really strange. I mean, the other strange thing is, and we were talking about this God knows how long ago, Burnley have still only conceded 9 goals this season.
It's absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. Derby is a bigger club. Sure, but right now, Derby are in a relegation battle and in trouble. It just felt weird. Like, wouldn't you wait till the end of the season? You're what, 10 games away from getting in the playoffs in the Championship, and that dream is alive of Premier League football. Why would it? Listen, each to their own. I'm sure he's got his reasons. Rob Frank, we can see 9 goals in 2 games. So have a Ryan Mason or Ange. If I will tell you someone at to end the season, Ryan Mason all day long. I can't say it anymore, Marius. I think this is the worst. No, this is the worst manager I've ever seen. When I've got 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 70-year-old football Spurs fans telling me, by the way, the 10 men of Ipswich have taken the lead at Villa Park.
Wow.
The 10 men of Ipswich are doing better than Spurs did last week in the FA Cup at Villa Park. The Ipswich goal, I'll let you know who scored it in a minute. Obviously, VAR will probably try and do something to rule it out. Would I take Amorim every day of the week? Who would I take at Spurs? I mean, Matty, I'll do this on tomorrow's show about Man U and Spurs. I'll do this on tomorrow's show, mate. It's too long to go into now. Yeah, Foxy, I get it. It just seems weird. It's like, you know, he was sacked from Birmingham when they were in the top 6 and they put Rooney in and then Birmingham fell. I would have thought, surely he would have thought to himself, right, I don't want that sort of thing again. But, you know, I just don't get it. But hey, it is what it is.
Liam Delap again for Ipswich.
Wow, Liam Delap with a goal. How many's he got this season?
Let's have a look. More than any Spurs player, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Hang on. He has scored. 22 years old, and he has scored. Where are we? Come on,
Matt. Stop this nonsense that managers need 3 to 5 years. Stop this. Stop this. This is what's wrong with football.
He scored 10 goals this season, which is 2 more than Maddison.
Wow.
And obviously, Maddison is not a striker.
Wow. Walsall 1, Chesterfield 1, Jamil Matt has scored. Jamil Matt. Reading 1, Rotherham 1, Sam Nombe with a penalty, and Stevenage 1, Peterborough 0, Dan Kemp. Yes. Oh, Matt, I'll almost pay you to go and watch another channel. I will. I just think you keep coming out with stupid shit. Matt, in the summer, if I'd offered you Bournemouth squad or ours, who would you have picked? In the summer, who would you have picked? And if you say it was Bournemouth's, you're a liar. Because look how much you love Ange. You would have been saying in the summer, we're going to finish top 3 and be in a title race. So West Ham losing at home 1-0. Villa losing at home 1-0. Southampton losing at home 2-0. Fulham are 1-1 at home to Nottingham Forest. And Man City are cruising as it stands 3-0. But you all know with Man City lately, one goal goes in, they do tend to flop. So Wildstone 2-1 up at Yeovil. Josh Grant, Kilmarnock are 2-0 up against St Johnstone. Fraser Murray and Ross County are 2-0 up at Motherwell. Ronan Hale with the goal. No, Matt. Situations change. The caliber of the squad doesn't. The caliber of our players hasn't changed from August to February. The manager has done a bad job. It's okay to say it. It's okay. I know you love him. What I can never understand about this love for this manager, Nick, is that he's just done nothing in his career in any sort of reputable top league. And yet our fans are talking about him as though we've taken one of the best managers in Europe and we're being harsh on him. I've never known anything like it.
Yeah. We've seen this manager, not this manager, other managers sacked for far less, right?
For sure.
And I don't understand how we can still sit there and say he's the right. Look, I said it before. I'll say it again. We wanted it to work. I wanted it to work. I got it wrong. You know, but you can't keep. I don't see how anyone can keep saying. You know, well, we know Sim will keep saying it, but
Matt, a process isn't just giving manager 3 to 5 years. That's not how it works. If you are bad at your job, you get the sack. Fulham are 2-1 up at home. They've retaken the lead against Nottingham Forest. Fulham 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Another very good manager, by the way. Marco Silva, I think, has had his up and downs in the Premier League. And the last few years, he's found a lot of consistency. And I think he's turned into a very good, experienced manager. He's done really, really well there. Gus, Moyes made an instant impact. Yeah, hasn't needed 3 to 5 years. Listen, this manager has taken us so far backwards. And people have got to stop saying this nonsense about managers needs 3 to 5 years. If after 2 years I'm not seeing improvements, why am I giving a manager another 3 years? It makes no sense. Our fan base is so flawed. It's so flawed. I just don't get it. Unai Emery went into Aston Villa. He didn't need 3 to 5 years, did he? Iriola hasn't needed 3 to 5 years to do anything. Silva didn't need 3 to 5 years at Fulham. All of these managers haven't needed 3 to 5 years, but this imaginary number being plucked out of thin air, and this subdue absolutely 18 months with how our team has gone backwards is more than absolutely. Sure, but Reezy, many fans as well are grown-ups and realise if a manager's doing a bad job, he gets the sack. Yeah. If I've got a mechanic fixing my car and this mechanic is crap, do I turn around and say, I'm really bored of finding different mechanics, I'll just let this mechanic do it, even though I'm going to have to go back there again in 3 months because he or she's not done a good job? This theory, Nick, doesn't apply to any other world. It's only Matt and Reezy. It's these people. They baffle me. Sorry. It's just this lack of football understanding from people is just killing me. Exactly. The solution is not to keep a shit manager. That is not the solution. Agreed. Huddersfield are 2-1 up at Barnsley. Ben Wiles, Stoke 0, Swansea 1. Josh Timon has scored. Give the mechanic time. It's a project. God. It's a project. Yeah, I know he's just winding me up, but it's a project. Look at our history. Our history shows second manager after manager gets us nowhere. The last manager we gave 3 to 5 years, Poch. Right, Matt, do you know why Poch got 3 to 5 years? Because Poch was doing a bloody good job. Poch was doing that. I can't deal with these. This is why we're taking the piss out of by so many fan bases, because of fans like Matt. Fans like Matt are what other fans thrive on from other fan bases. It is agreed. Look, how long supported Spurs? Worst manager he's seen in 50 plus years. Don't worry though, because Matt thinks we should just give him 3 to 5 years based on nothing. No, Matt, sorry, mate, not having this. No, but this whole, we won't win anything anyway, but we won't be 14th. Matt, this has got to stop. This has got to stop. Sorry, I know you're a little bit younger and you haven't been around the block as much, but this has got to stop. Just because we're not going to fight for titles doesn't mean we keep a manager that's got us 14th in the Premier League. That's not how football works. Otherwise, no manager would be sacked. Come on, man.
I think, and I'll put this out there, I think any of us could do a better job and we would have more of an impact.
It's awful. I completely agree with you. Marios, I agree that this notion, right? This notion, Marios, that 3 to 5 years. So what if in year 2 you got relegated? Nice. Right, Matt, I'm going to time you out in a minute because now you're lying. He didn't inherit a strong spine of experienced players. This is not true. This is not true at all. Poch came into an utter shit show and a mess. Right? Stop, Matt. This is stop. He did a very good job of coaching. He done what Ange's not done once, Nick. Ange's not made a single player at Tottenham Hotspur better.
No, and this is the thing, is the fact that, you know, you sit there and say, well, he'll be left with dreadful players. Well, actually, you don't know that he's going to be left with dreadful players, because actually they're far better than some of the players. You know, if we look at some of the squads that other managers have come in for, with the likes of Eric Dyer and Højbjerg and Oliver Skipp and Harry Winks and all of this, right? Yeah, exactly. Look at,
and unfortunately, this has shown, Matt, that you're a troll, because if you had, you would know that Poch. Have you seen the pictures going around of what Poch's first 11 was in his first game?
I've got it here, Savva. I've got it here.
Can you bring it up?
Let's just have a look. So we've got Brad Friedel in goal.
Right.
Kyle Norton, Michael Dawson, Zeke Friars, Danny Rose, Lewis Holtby, Etienne Capoue, Tom Carroll, Andros Townsend, Aaron Lennon, and Harry Kane versus what he turned it into, which was Lloris, Trippier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Rose, Sissoko, Winks, Ericsson, Son, Dele Alli, and Harry Kane.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. These people are now at the point where they're just lying. They're just lying. I won't have the lies. I'm sorry. People like Zeki, Friars, Bentaleb, Mason. I mean, what are we doing here? Hang on. I thought there was a goal there, but there's not been a goal there. So,
oh, this is brilliant. This has just made my day. This will make you laugh, Savva. Former Tottenham fullback Emerson Royale on his time at Spurs. I think they are really suffering now from my absence. I was the heart of the team. I love him.
oh,
I love him.
oh mate.
I love him.
Mate. Peterborough have equalised at Stevenage. Kean Haynes with the goal. Man City are still 3-0 up. Fulham are winning 2-1 against Nottingham Forest. Villa losing 1-0 at home. How can Ipswich go there with 10 men and beat them? And we were so comprehensively beaten by them. That shows you how bad our manager is.
They have tactics.
Foxy, we can't believe that we paid 30 million for Sissoko either, mate. Don't worry about that one. Oh, wow. We were. Here we go. Let's have a look at the league table. So as it stands, because of that goal for Fulham. So Liverpool, let me double check this. Yeah, Liverpool are top with 57, Arsenal 53 in second, Forest 47 in third, City 44 in fourth, Bournemouth 43 points fifth, Chelsea 43 points sixth, 41 points for Newcastle in seventh. Fulham are now only 2 points off European football in eighth. Brighton Hove Albion on 37 in ninth, Villa in 37th on 10th. So it's a big 20 minutes coming up for Villa and for Fulham and for Forest as it stands. I think we can say that Man City are going to win. I can't see that they're going to suddenly lose a free. Well, they've done it before, but doesn't look like it. Internet Vegetable said Poch had to rebuild half the team. He got rid of Bentaleb, Kabul, Adebayor, Saidado, Friedel, Stambouli, Chiriches, Holtby, Capoue, and the South American centre-back I've forgotten the name of. South American? By the way, Aston Villa have equalised. Aston Villa 1, Ipswich 1. So Aston Villa grabbing a goal back at home to Ipswich. You would have expected it, and it has come. It's all gone. I don't know what's going on at West Ham. It all went dark and now it's come back to being light. So nothing's happened there. But Aston Villa and the goal scorer for Aston Villa. Oh, Fazio. Oh, we're talking about Fazio. Jesus Christ. I forgot he existed. Not in a horrible way. I've seen so much crap at Spurs. Guess who scored the goal for Aston Villa?
Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins.
Or Morgan Rogers. It's going to be one of those.
So that goal, what does that do to the Premier League table? So Ollie Watkins, Aston Villa's goal, that will put them back up into ninth. And they have got the chance to go above Fulham if they find a winner. It's very, very tight up there for the European places, but just not for Tottenham.
Just for context, Spurs are 17 points behind Manchester City in fourth place. Wow. And for you, Phil, with a game in hand.
Love it. Oh, love it. So West Ham still losing at home. Southampton losing at home. Is there any? Southampton have pulled one back. Southampton 1, Bournemouth 2. Southampton 1, Bournemouth 2. I'll give you the goal scorer in a minute. Cheltenham 2, Barrow 2. Matt Taylor with a goal. Must be one of the 100 Matt Taylors playing professional football.
Yeah.
And the goal scorer for Southampton, I'll let you know in 1 second if I can.
Sulemana.
Who?
Sulemana.
Oh, Kamaldeen Sulemana. Yeah, Kamaldeen Sulemana with a goal. It's still West Ham 0, Brentford 1. Coming across the screen right now. That sounds really dirty, but you all know what I meant.
Just for your Arsenal fans as well, Watkins scored in the 69th minute. Oh,
It's amazing that Ollie Watkins signed for Arsenal, but they let him still play for Villa. I think that's really kind of Arsenal.
It is really kind, isn't it?
And they've also got Mbappe out on loan at Madrid. So big things happening at Arsenal. Just crazy. Crazy. Oh God. Yeah. This is a great name. Edinburgh City 3, Spartans 0. The goal scorer is someone called Uzi C. Ouzy, and the surname is C. S-E-E.
Is that not that guy that went into Love Island? That was Uzi something. Let me have a look.
I have no idea.
Hang on, let me have a look.
Uzi C. I love that.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy that was in Love Island.
Uzi C. Wow.
Oh my.
Here we go.
God.
Look.
Brilliant.
Look at this. I'll tell you what never a truer word said. We're getting further and further away from mid-table. Do you remember it used to be we're only 3 points off the top 4? And now right. How many points off mid-table are we? How many points off 10th? Is it 10? We're 10 points.
Yeah. But is mid-table 10 or is it 12?
Well, if 10th, we're 10 points off the top half. Let's go with that, right?
Okay.
And we're 14 points off of Conference League qualification.
With a game in hand, though, Savva. Don't forget.
With the game in hand. With the game in hand. Yes, with
this game in hand until next week. We'll have a game in hand because I think hang on. Let's just see this.
No, we play Ipswich on the Saturday next week.
Oh no, so that means that means that oh no, everyone's gonna have a game in hand on us again.
I was the heart of the Spurs team.
Don't you know it? Don't you forget it, Ben. Oh, but then we're playing Man City on the Wednesday, so does that mean we got a game in hand? I don't know. Oh, yeah. And then we got 2 Sunday games in March, which means we're gonna have a game in hand and then a game in hand.
And I'll tell you what, some of the names of these players is absolutely brilliant. So Stoke 2, Swansea 1. The goal scorer is Bae Jun Ho. So B-A-E, like salt B-A-E, Jun Ho. So Jun Ho has scored. Uzi C has scored. And sandwiched in the middle, Blackpool 2, Mansfield 3, Ashley Fletcher. Savva, can you find me a stat of how? I'll tell you what. No, I can't. I'll be honest. I don't want to go and find that stat. I really don't. Osasuna 1, Real Madrid 1. Oh, go on, Osasuna.
Penalty to Budimir has scored. He sounds like something off Lord of the Rings or something. Budimir.
I'm going to start.
How many goals he scored?
I'm going to start The Last Kingdom again. Best box set I've ever seen by a country mile.
Let's have a look. Budimir, Osasuna. Let's have a look. Ante Budimir, Croatian footballer. Let's have a look. 33 years old. How many goals has he scored? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Come on. Let's have a look. Current season.
It's still 1-0 to Brentford at West Ham, by the way.
This guy, Budimir, has scored 12 goals in La Liga this season, more than any Spurs player. What is this? This Budimir is literally he's anti Budimir. Sounds like I don't know, some vaccination or something you'd have. I don't know, but
I just want to ask you a quick question. Chloe, how much do you fancy Uhtred, son of Uhtred, in The Last Kingdom? If anyone's seen The Last Kingdom, I fancy Uhtred, son of Uhtred from The Last Kingdom. He's the guy. Girls want to be with him. Guys want to be him. He is the best character ever on TV. Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Honestly, brilliant TV show that is. Great acting, and lots of nice things.
So we've learned today that Savva, mind you, Savva said that I was exploring I had a dream about Savva. That was worrying to hear. So when I had I don't know what everyone did for Valentine's Day.
You spent it thinking about me.
No. We had a Chinese, right? When I have the Chinese, the MSG, right? When the MSG, right, it gives me some crazy dreams. And for some reason, you know, when you wake up and you're like, Christ, that felt real. I dreamt that Savva was an airline pilot. We were streaming, but I was streaming through his window. It sounded really creepy. And Savva just put, "Is that your way of saying you're coming out?"
Yeah, but I had a dream about you. Oh, okay, fair enough. Did you?
It wasn't one of those dreams. Just don't get, you know.
Yeah. Where are we? Yeah. Bobby K. Listen, I've seen Vikings and Vikings of Valhalla. Not enough happens. Like, I feel like there's so many moments in Vikings and Vikings Valhalla where I'm like 30 minutes where nothing happens. Every episode of Last Kingdom, I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat. Anyway, should we get back to football?
Yes.
Blackburn are not missing John Eustace at all. They won midweek. They're 2-0 up today against Plymouth. And the guy that scored, I really rate him as a player, by the way. Tyrese Dolan. Every time I see him, I'm really impressed with him. Tyrese Dolan of Blackburn. Ebbsfleet, who are just down the road from me. Ebbsfleet 0, York 2. Ollie Pearce, he's prolific. Blackpool 3, Mansfield 3. Niall Ennis with the goal. Niall Ennis. In the Premier League, we're still at 3-0 to Man City versus Newcastle. Fulham are still leading Forest 2-1. Villa 1-0 as Asensio has a shot saved. West Ham are 0-1 at home to Brentford. Yes. The first thing I've ever agreed with Matt on. The first thing I've ever agreed with my man Matt on. Luton 0, Sheffield United 1, massive goal at the top of the championship. Anel Ahmedovich has scored, the centre-half. Tranmere 1, MK Dons 1, Luke Norris with the goal. And it looks like at Villa Park, it is just attack after attack after attack from Aston Villa. Savva changes favourite character every 2 seconds. I thought Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin's my favourite animated character of all time. Him and Stewie just are superb. They're just absolutely brilliant. So much so that I named my dog after it. Don't get used to it, Savva. Don't get used to it. Alex says to me 7 or 8 times a show that he's on with me, don't get used to it. Like, but if you keep saying it, surely. Yes, I agree. Anyway, is there been a no, sorry. VAR are checking something. Don't know where. Hang on. Villa 1, Ipswich 1. There's 11 minutes to go at Villa Park. West Ham have got 13 minutes to find an equaliser in their game.
Is West Ham the only team that's ruining your ACCA? And
Villa. But I feel like Villa might grab a goal. I don't feel like West Ham will get 2.
Yeah.
So they've killed that ACCA. But that's fine. These things happen in life, don't they? Leyton Orient were 2-0 up against Lincoln. It's now Leyton Orient 2, Lincoln 2. James Collins. So obviously we've got a big affiliation with them. They've got Josh Keeley and Jamie Donnelly, and they've also got one of our old graduates in Dylan Markanday, who plays there as well.
They've also got a manager that doesn't use injuries as an excuse.
I loved it when he said that. Wow, Ahmed Diallo set to miss the rest of the season. Oh yeah, Man United have got injuries galore as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ahmed Diallo could miss the rest of the season. Mainu out for a number of weeks, as well as Ugarte and Collier to miss Spurs too. So you know what that means, Dr. Tottenham. So,
well, I don't see any way at all tomorrow we should not be walking away with 3 points. No excuses. By the way, Shrewsbury 1, Bolton 3. John McAtee has scored for Bolton. So John McAtee has given Bolton a 3-1 lead. Who's sending me photos? What am I getting photos of? Diallo said to me the rest of the season. I've never known so many players as in this day and age that miss seasons at a time, like miss 3 months.
They were saying
months.
this. There was an article. I don't know where it was. There was an article the other day, and it was saying that the length of time has got less in terms of players being out, but the seriousness of these injuries has increased for a number of look at. I mean, let's not try and
There's
make
been a goal.
excuses.
Manchester City 4, Newcastle United 0. Man City 4, Newcastle 0. Sorry, I just thought I'd get that in. The goal scorer, if anyone would like to know, I will like to know as well, and I will let you know as soon as I know. So as soon as I know, you will know, and we'll all be
as soon as Savva knows, you will get to know.
There's been another goal. Southampton 1, Bournemouth 3. It's my mate, Tavernier.
Tavernier
scored. Marcus Tavernier has scored for Bournemouth. Bournemouth 3-1 up at Southampton. What a wonderful season Bournemouth are having. James McAtee has scored for Man City. So James McAtee, another academy graduate coming through at Man City, has scored.
Is there any relation between McAtee at Bolton and McAtee at City?
A great quiz question. If anyone out there could find that out for Nick, he'd be extremely grateful.
I'd be happy.
Bristol Rovers 1, Burton 1, Fabio Tavares. That's a good name. I like that. Fabio Tavares. Southend 1, Rochdale 1, Liam Hogan with an own goal. Where's Fagger? Is Fagger Bruce in it? Where's Fagger Bruce? Is he in it? Fagger Bruce. Everybody, we need a minute's silence for Fagger Bruce for the poor 10 years that he's had to endure as a Barcelona fan.
Yeah.
Only winning 17 major trophies. So if we could start that moment of silence. And I think that's long enough. So sorry for the heartache you've had to go through winning La Ligas, Champions Leagues, World Club Cups, UEFA Super Cups, Spanish Cups. I'm so sorry. There you go. 18, Sav, with the Super Cup this season. It's a tough life being a Barcelona fan. It's a tough old life, innit? Celtic 3, Dundee 0. The goal scorer is Adam Eder. And
we have we have an answer from Foxy. John McAtee is the older brother. Can you imagine being the older brother and being like, "Oh yeah, I'm a footballer," and then the younger brother goes, "Yeah, mate, but I play at Man City. You play at Bolton."
Hold my beer. Yeah, one of them's going, "Yeah, I play up front of the Reebok. Yeah, I play attacking midfield behind Erling Haaland." Oh, Jesus Christ, Matt, you were doing so well. You were doing so well. Go away. Wigan 0, Stockport 2. Blues brother has scored. Will Collar has scored a goal. Blue Collar's brother has scored. There's a dad joke for you. Wigan 0, Stockport 2. So it looks like Man City are cruising to a very easy win at the Etihad. 3 goals from Marmoush, 1 from McAtee. Fulham are 2-0 up. Goals for Bassi and Emil Smith-Rowe. Aston Villa 1-1. Liam Delap gave Ipswich the lead, and Aston Villa equalised through Ollie Watkins, the Arsenal on-loan striker. West Ham 0, Brentford 1. The goal scorer was, oh gosh, that was ages ago. Who scored the Brentford goal?
Sade.
Oh, Vista. Oh, Sade. Yeah, got it ages ago. Yeah, Sade with the goal there. And then it's 3-1 at Southampton. Southampton 1, Bournemouth 3. Thank you for the congratulations for something that hasn't happened yet. Thank you. Always nice. Jed, here's a question. Whilst we're on the brothers, Jed Garner has just scored for Morecambe against Accrington Stanley. Is he the brother of Everton's Garner? Can anyone find that out for me? So his name is Jed, G-E-D. G-E-D, Jed Garner. Who do we think is going to score in the last minutes? Let me know, guys. Do we think Villa will get one? Will Forest equalise at Fulham? West Ham to get an equaliser?
And Sheffield United currently sit top of the Championship, but Leeds United have a game in hand on Monday night against Sunderland.
You love this, don't you? You love this. Haaland off injured. Okay. Haaland off injured. For Man City. Yeah, a lot of these games are very close. There's one goal in it in West Ham's game, drawing at Villa, and then 2-1, one goal in it at Fulham. So there's a lot going on. Every time I look up at Villa Park, they're flooding forward with the likes of Asensio, Rashford, Rodgers, Watkins. Big up Chem, how you doing? Said I saw Dazell's son score earlier. Say, God, Jason Dazell. That takes me back, Nick. Jason Dazell in a Spurs shirt.
Yeah. Well, it takes it back in playing in an Ipswich shirt. That was before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't that the season?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the season they got pummeled 9-1 at Old Trafford? I don't know. Maybe not.
Gosh, who was it that got 4 or 5 that day? Was that Solskjaer?
Andy Cole, wasn't it? Was it Andy
Cole?
I think so. Let's have a look.
Tamworth. We've got affiliation with them now. Tamworth have just equalised in the 88th minute. Carl Finn, manager of the local Waitrose, has just scored against Woking. Carl Finn, Spurs conquered them. We beat them easily. We beat them 3-0 really easily. Wow. Are these real names? Not this one, sorry. This.
Yeah, this. Yeah.
Cheetah Obi, Kone, Jack Morehouse, and Mass. Wow, okay. No excuses tomorrow. No excuses. Yeah, you're right. Let's put Gray and Bergvall in the middle together. Never played together in midfield. Let's just do it. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, up the Tamworth. Motherwell 0, Ross County 3, Connor Randall with a goal. Bristol Rovers 2, Burton 1, Luke Thomas with the goal. And East Fife 1, Bonnie Rigrose 1, Alan Troughton. Anyone remember Alan Troughton?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. So we're into the last 5 minutes of all the games. We're actually into the 90th minute in most of them. Aston Villa are slightly behind. They're only on the 88th minute. The other games are into the 90 and 91st. Sue Smith is giving up-to-date commentary on Fulham versus Forest. Fulham 2-1 up. Nottingham Forest losing. They've got a tough run of games, Forest. I've said it all year. I do think they'll slip away. I've said that all year. I do think they'll slip away. People need to remember football is played over 38 games. You know, it's Ben, percentage that Spence gets dropped tomorrow. You know it, mate. You know it. Hang on, where are we? Yeah, no, West Ham killed that Aka. They're in the 87th minute unless they can magically find 2 goals.
It was Andy Cole. He got 5 goals in that game. Do you know who the ref? The ref that day, Graham Pole.
Oh wow, that's old school.
There was only 43,800 at Old Trafford.
Wow, back in the day, eh? Back in the day.
Mark
so
Hughes,
we're just waiting for some.
Roy Keane. That's some proper footballers.
Oh God, yes, absolutely. That's when men were men. It wasn't like now where they fall over and everyone goes, "Oh, are they all right? Have they done a cruise ship?" Let's see, Fulham on the attack. No, nothing coming of that. Aston Villa are on the attack as well. Man City. I don't even know what Man City are done. 92 minutes there, 2-0 up. I'll tell you what, again, I said it at the beginning, and some people were probably laughing at me. Coventry have just scored in the 92nd minute. They're now 2-1 up away at Sheffield Wednesday. He's done a really good job. Frank Lampard. I know people don't want to hear it, but he has. He's done a good job.
He's found his level. He's found his level. I don't think he's got any, I don't think he's anything better than the Championship, but that's his level, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, I think they're 1 point off the playoffs, if I'm not wrong.
They are, yeah. They are.
He's done a fantastic job. They were in free fall before he went there. So at the moment, there's no real change at the top. Doesn't look like we're going to get any late drama anywhere in the Premier League. We're hoping for some late drama somewhere. We like a little bit of drama. But yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yes, that's exactly what I said. Isn't it mad? You just say someone's done a good job, and he manages to get that to me thinking he should come to Tottenham. Don't give me the option, Mario. So I don't know if people would like my answer. Just kidding. Full times coming in: Hull 1, Norwich 1, Middlesbrough 0, Watford 1, Raith Rovers 3, Partick Thistle 0. Hang on, listen. Is there any? I want some last minute.
Reading have just scored a 94th minute penalty to go 2-1 up at home to Rotherham at the Select Car Leasing Stadium. It was so much easier when it was the Medeski, right? I don't know why we have to.
It was. Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, the same Coventry that Anne struggled against. How we went through that day is still baffling. I've never seen us look so bad and have to be rescued by Jed Spence. So these games must be coming to a close now. Man City is a full-time result. Man City 4, Newcastle 0 is a full-time result. The other games are still playing. It is, full-time there. Just waiting for the full-times at Fulham, at Villa, and at West Ham. If Ipswich can go to Villa and get a point, how bad is that we went there and gave them 20-odd shots at our goal? That's how bad we are as a football team, right? That's just absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful, that one. Hang on.
Well, yeah, considering that Villa have had 24 shots against 10 men, and we had, what did they have against us? Pretty much the same with 11.
God knows. Sorry, haven't you asked this question already? If you ask it again, you're going to be blocked. Because if you start asking, you've already asked me that. We've talked about it. Lee Unlove has scored for Barnet. Barnet 3-1 up. Is Lee Unlove the son of Fulham? Fulham have beaten Forest. What a big win that is. Stoke have scored. Stoke 3, Swansea 1. Lewis Baker. What a big win that is for Fulham, by the way. Really, really good win for Fulham. Good team, good manager, well drilled. Still waiting for West Ham to finish. Still waiting for Villa to finish. Marcus Rashford on a dangerous attack, apparently. No, Ipswich have cleared it. And that must be going to full time very, very soon, mustn't it? Must be going to full time soon. And at West Ham. West Ham are only in the 92nd minute. Aston Villa have a throw in, by the way. A yellow card to Ipswich going on in that game. So, oh, yeah, don't worry. Yeah, Wolfie and his title race. The title race, by the way, that they're 10 points off. Peter and Love has 12 kids. Surely one is a pro footballer. It must be his son. Foxy, it must be his son, right? It's such a unique name. Ipswich are making a substitution. They're into the 95th minute. West Ham are still pushing, still losing that 1-0. But we're waiting for some full time. Shrewsbury 2, Bolton 3. This is a great name. The guy who's just scored is called Luca, Luca. Right? Ipswich 1, Villa 1. Villa 1, Ipswich 1. Full time. Wow. Full time. Great point for Ipswich. Makes us look really shit. Leyton Orient have scored a winner in the 93rd minute. Leyton Orient 3, Lincoln 2. Villa 1, Ipswich 1. Southampton 1, Bournemouth 3. And West Ham looks to be the only Premier League game that is still going at the moment. So Leyton
He's
Orient,
not his dad, by the way. He's not his dad, by the way.
It's not.
No.
Interesting. Wigan 0, Stockport 2. Barnet have won 3-1 against Solihull Moors. Reading 2, Rotherham 1 is a full-time result. So the result we're waiting on now is West Ham at home to Brentford. There's 5 minutes of injury time and they're into the fourth one. Unfortunately, it's not happening anymore. It's not happening anymore, I'm afraid. But I will rearrange against somebody else. Don't you worry about that. So West Ham have 1 minute to find an equaliser against Brentford. At the moment, that looks like it could be a very valuable 3 points away from Brentford. And at the moment, Spurs, Man United and West Ham are being cast aside in the bottom half of that table, Nick.
Yeah.
That makes the Spurs Man United game even bigger. Makes that game even bigger because if we lose that, we're 5 points off Man United.
Yeah, and also if Palace get a win, it's a
massive game.
It's absolutely massive. They'll be on 32. Palace would be on 33. Brentford, we getting that win today. I mean, what do we say? I mean, we're just fortunate enough that West Ham and playing. But look, if Everton carry on doing what they're doing, we'll be, even a point, we'll be back into 15th. I think we got West Ham in a few weeks, so it could be 15th against 16th, not 13th against 14th.
Okay, David, I did say earlier, what about if we win? I said if we win, then we can go as high as, depending on Palace, we can go as high as 12. If Palace win or draw tonight, the highest we can end the weekend is 13th. So there you go. So if Palace win or draw tonight, the highest Spurs can end the weekend is 13th. Just so you know. So there's flip sides to everything. West Ham are still playing, by the way. It's in the 96th minute. West Ham are still playing. And apparently have got a dangerous... No, it's full time. It's full time. So there you have it, guys. Nick, thank you very much for joining me. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
No worries, sir.
Enjoy. Much love. And listen, guys and girls, I'll see you tomorrow for Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United. And just to let you know that the Spurs review is at 8 p.m, not 7:30. Much love. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.